So you got the loan listed in here someplace.
Yeah, the loan payment's on the back, correct, page 8. Oh, I have to change it though. It's listed as FD principal and FD interest, so I'll change that to be probably just principal and interest. Unless there's a account already created for highway or something.
So we got the interest at 47. So our payment for debt service is 127, that's the interest included?
Yeah.
That's everything, okay.
Oh, Gary did get ahold of me, obviously he got his light bulbs, I was able to get in here. We were talking about, he just wants to go to Fleet or buy it now. So I said, that's okay, I said, because we can just take the other oddballs and put them like in the bathrooms or whatever.
That doesn't work, so they went to Central Supply.
Theirs didn't work? Okay.
No. Nope.
Okay,
Dave coming?
then that was after.
Yeah. I think those are the old ones, maybe?
Those are probably the ones that need to be returned.
Yeah. Maybe this
I
one.
saw him yesterday. I
Because
thought
that
it
was a
was
lot like the containers.
See me tomorrow.
No, and I
And
don't
that
have
was
the
yesterday.
receipt, I don't think.
We should have left it. He said he was gonna leave it there with the car.
Oh, yeah, the receipt's right here, so I have it all right here. Yeah, so that's all good, though. I don't know what these cords are, though.
What cords? Oh, that's the stuff he has to cut out to put in the new light bulbs.
So what do I do?
We could probably throw them away.
Oh, okay.
Or we can circle back and put it in a box. And,
Save them, give them for Christmas presents.
well, I don't know if they'll work. I don't know if they can go on, because one side comes off and the other side stays on. I don't know if that still works if the side that comes off, in case we break one or one burns up or whatever. I don't know. Bad connection.
He's not answering.
Maybe he's on his way, we'll give him a few minutes.
So maybe we should ask Gary before we chuck them. I'm thinking
Yeah.
chucking would be done.
I would have thought he would have thrown them also if he didn't need them.
Yeah, maybe he's on his way. Usually I think he would go. I mean, it's pick up. Dave, are you coming to meeting? Okay, well, you better get your butt up here.
Forgot about it.
Okay, bye. He did.
We'll give him a few minutes.
He'll be here in a second. Oh, so this is. What page is on this one?
What's that? Doesn't look like we're gonna have quite enough money, does it?
No, I'll come up a bit short.
A little bit?
You have to spend though. Still have the ARPS and the,
I ain't part of the budget.
well, I know it's not part of the budget, but you have it.
I know we have it, but it's still not part of the
You
budget.
can't just keep saying
No, but we're spending it.
it.
Maybe
And the
you'll-
shared revenues is, what I hear is we're gonna get that extra one.
Yeah,
So it
but
won't
we're only
just
short, what? 300
be 40,925.
348,000.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's all we're short. That 300,000 for roads, that's the one that we back into. That one was just wishful thinking. So that one you'll have to move. For, 53315. Whatever's left is what usually gets put in there.
You know, maybe that's one to leave alone.
Where are you gonna pull the money from? You don't have enough to start with.
We're gonna have a budget meeting, have them raise to the mill rate.
Gotta have a resolution to do that. We didn't.
Do it have to be in already?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When was the deadline for that?
What was it, John? That's gotta be posted for so many days ahead of time.
Well, you got time. I would think.
You're gonna raise the levy to 340-some thousand?
No, I didn't say that. I just said if you're going to think about it, a possibility, if
We're
there's
already
somebody
adding
coming
on
at
the
it.
loan.
It said if you're exceeding the levy limit, the town clerk must post or publish the town board's written resolution as a class 1 notice within 30 days after the adoption. So the way that I'm understanding it is,
In our budget.
the town board could adopt a resolution at the next town board meeting, which is prior to the budget hearing, post that resolution and propose the higher levy at the budget hearing.
But how long does it have to be posted?
It has to be posted within 30 days after its adoption. But it doesn't say how, anything relative to the public budget hearing.
What's our mill rate at right now? Our levy?
Last year it was $528,000. This year, the maximum, without exceeding it, the maximum we're allowed is $659,000 or $660,000 almost.
But that's including the loan. We added that in there too.
So we need about 349,000 to balance? Did I do math right?
Yep. That's if you, well, like I said, the 300,000 for highway is the wishful thinking one, because that's the one that we back into. Okay, what's ever left is what goes in there, so.
So one of the things that's not recognized as revenue currently is the, whatever we're anticipating to get back from the state for the MAN project.
I don't think you can put a grant in the budget, can you?
I mean, it is
It's
revenue, so, you know, you would wanna capture ideally on a budget, you're gonna capture all, especially on a cash budget, you're gonna capture all revenue and all expenditures that's gonna happen during the year. And what Don was talking about, you can pull that money in, prior money that is leftover money from previous years. It's just, the term is fund balance applied, so it's just, that's counted as revenue because you're applying that fund balance.
You don't know what, you probably have some left over in your checking accounts, that's not on there.
Mhm.
And you've got the 2 accounts that are over 600, I don't care if you spend that money and pay the rest of the man road, or if you have the 600,000 that comes back
What
from.
we transfer, John, 400,000?
Oh,
Yeah, $400,000 went from the checking to the tax savings.
Okay,
because we paid the bill with it.
right.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have another one just like it.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
you've got enough in those 2 accounts, plus you got that coming back when the grant money's coming in.
Yeah, but that don't come till next year.
Well, no, it doesn't come till next year, but it's there, you know what's coming. But
Right?
those don't show on here, is what I'm trying to say. They don't show those.
No, they
revenues that
don't.
you have.
Do we know how much we're getting back?
591,000
I don't know.
and change. Which we would be able to put on roads. Because if we got 400,000 left from that loan, and then we end up, if we transfer the 300 or something, but depending what the bill is at the end, we'll be fine. So,
Is Maine still on track to be done in 2 weeks?
it's supposed to be
Thursday's supposed to start paving.
when?
The Thursday,
Thursday.
they did, they're doing final grading now, watering and compacting.
Yeah, they were
So
up there.
Dave's question on moving the larger stone back into the deal, they've done that, right?
They did that already.
Oh, good. That's exciting.
They were out there with us, we got a roller today.
Mhm.
Just think if we would've did this in spring, it would've never started.
Well, they just had one big huge mess and been sitting there for a while. So,
Well, that's why they did it in stages like they did, because if they would've got rain like that in the spring, they would've just stopped. You just wouldn't have been able to drive from one end to the other. That's why they were filling with gravel, well, putting everything back together as soon as they were taking it apart. They were prepared for the worst.
School district levy's going up.
you better surprise.
It's, I'm trying to remember what number it is now. 547 maybe?
From what? That's how much it's going up?
It was 511. But if the referendum goes through, then it's gonna be 643.
Is there projects in that, or is that day-to-day operation money to make it run?
It's day to day, there's no projects. Well, I mean, there's maintenance projects, but not projects.
The big thing would be the referendum for any projects. And that'll take, what, a couple of years before they get any of that done?
Should be done the year of 28, 29, if approved.
That's a couple of years.
But the state is paying 54% of that,
Mhm.
I think it was. They only pay the referendum if it's approved, they don't help if there's no referendum.
Mhm.
I'm like, this is so backwards.
Which means what? So the 71.5 on the referendum. So what happens if the state kicks in 54%? Then what?
In theory,
In theory,
the levy should change.
why do I think that's a big bunch of BS?
I don't know, but.
Because they don't tell us.
Uh,
If Nicole
I mean, that should
would've told
reduce
us,
that.
we wouldn't know.
That referendum by that much, then you know it's not going to.
Well, they can't reduce it by that much, because they still need that amount of money, it's just that.
But if the state's kicking in 54% of it,
But then, after interest, it's 109 is what it's projected.
I still like the whole part.
That's okay. I don't, you're simple about it. There are people who are not simple about it. I'm just telling you.
Okay, are there, might as well call this to order, do roll call, John? Well, it's not really a meeting, it's just a workshop, so do roll call, so we got something.
Dave is late.
Yeah,
And we got John.
I don't know that they
Last
can
one.
keep notes or anything for
Too much fun.
this.
well, we gotta
And it doesn't matter.
acknowledge the fact we had it. We're all
Ron.
here.
John said he
Nicole.
reminded you
Yes, yes.
yesterday.
I know, but I,
You're here,
things
right,
in the
Dave?
farm get crazy, yes.
Carolyn,
Here,
Deb,
Yeah. Okay, did anybody make any changes in their portion of the budget?
Yes,
What'd you do, Lori?
line 136, buildings and grounds.
Hold on just a second.
wait a minute.
These aren't numbers anymore.
Yeah, the new
The
ones we
numbers.
got.
Ah, dude.
What page?
Should be done.
Oh, they changed. Oh, they don't have the numbers now.
Right.
136.
Page 5. 52211-010, page 4 at the bottom. Mine says page 5. Oh, okay.
What was the
Where
word?
is it?
What are the numbers again?
52211-10.
is at the bottom of page 4 for you guys.
Okay.
Because I figured out how to print the little lines on the side. I decreased that by $3,300.
Communications?
Nope, building grounds,
Oh, the right above it.
52211-10.
Okay.
So what did you change it to?
2. I
Well, It's
decreased.
27 on here, so what's it supposed to be?
I still can't find it on here.
Bottom
It's
of
page
page
4,
4.
Carolyn, down here.
Second one from the
Oh,
bottom.
she
Second one from the
Five.
bottom.
So it should be $23,700.
52212, you said.
52211.
Right down here,
52211-10.
the 27.
It should be 23,700.
Okay.
Septic. I took 500 out of there, so it's sitting at 1,000.
52230-04.
Yeah.
Because I think I had it
Top
at 15.
third of page 5.
I think I had 15 and I took 500 out, so it's sitting at 1,000. I think that's what I did.
I only had 500 in there initially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Alright, well now my shit's all screwed up now. Snow rescue. Rescue
So it's
snow.
500, the septic is 500, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Rescue snow.
Yeah.
I decreased that by $500, so it should be 500 there.
That's
And
already
that's
been
already
changed.
at
Yeah,
500.
that was done, yeah.
I'm going through and putting all the decreases that were in here so everybody knows things are being decreased. I
From the
just, I
initial
just
one.
need to process
Oh.
the stuff here.
Got it.
Okay,
ATVs, we decreased that to 500.
yeah.
Equipment, I decreased it to 4,000, which I took 5,000 out. We did not get the AFG grant, so I took $25,000 out for capital outlay. So that's a total of $34,800 out of our budget.
Okay, equipment apparatus, we took that to what?
Down 4,
Not 4,300?
4,000.
And what was the other one, Lori, the capital?
Capital outlay, 25,000. We didn't get the AFG grant.
Where is that?
That's on the very
page
last.
7 of
Yeah,
ours.
somewhere in there.
Okay. Took out 25,000.
Last
57220.
Right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's gone,
Right.
That's gone.
okay.
they say why? They just say no?
I got some reasons, yeah, I gotta go over with John with some of the reasons.
Oh.
And I was going up against pretty big states like New York, California. for
Oh.
apparatus. And they're gonna get it before us because,
Were those the only changes you made?
yes,
Okay.
So your total budget decreased by,
$34,800.
Well, somebody had in there, so can't take that whole one off that one.
Some of them work in there, so I'm like, man, where's that?
I know. There's up to 325,300.
That's the difference since last time we met, how about that?
There you go.
Plus the 3,300.
There you go.
300 plus 300 plus 25,000.
So with my calculations, if I added everything right, it's just a little over 208,000 for
How much?
208, 452.97.
Well,
I've got 228,922.97 cents.
Okay, now we need to go through it line by line to make sure everything's correct, because,
I mean, this is for public safety, so that would include,
All right, let's start from, all
2,500.
right, Lori, we're gonna start from 52,200. We're throwing it on the floor.
I'm sorry, I thought he stapled, I stapled it.
It's on page 4.
yeah,
All right. Town air fire protection,
Insurance.
insurance. On one it says 11,000 and on this one it says 12, so I went with the 11.
Okay, so that's gonna be changed.
Workers' comp is left at 18.
Okay.
Chief's salary, we put that 5,000 in there, but I know it's a suggestion.
Well, why don't we put that back at 3,000 till the board changes it?
What,
Because the board is the one that has to approve that.
is
So you
it,
don't want
is it gonna be on November's agenda?
the next agenda?
On our next agenda?
Yeah.
Why would it be on our next agenda?
Why
We did
not?
that in December.
Because it has to be.
December. December.
So just so we're clear, the numbers that are posted, that are in this document that you all have, are the numbers that Lori sent to me on
Should've been shortly after you sent it out to me, because we had an officers meeting right after.
September 25th, 2024. And
Right.
I have not received any other
Oh, no.
budget updates from her since then.
Not outside of what I gave tonight.
So the $12,000 is what Lori told me for insurance
And then I have,
on the initial budget.
I have
Okay,
sheets
so
from,
now she wants to change it to 11.
Okay.
well, I've got sheets from the last budget meeting that we were gonna decrease it to 11.
Okay.
Okay. I guess you guys can put for the chief's salary whatever you want there, if you want the 5 or the 3. I suggest leaving the 5, because when people look at this, they're gonna have to, if you do
They're gonna
approve it, then,
scream.
well,
You can explain it. Assistant chief, 2,000.
2,000, officers 18, fire salary, firefighter salary 14. The 800 has to stay separate for fire inspections, because I have to prove for 2% dues that we have money set aside for fire inspections.
That's fine.
So I can't include that into that. Remember, we're.
No, we're at office
Office
supplies.
supplies, 2,500. Member recognition, we left at 8.
Why'd the office supplies go up so much?
Yeah,
We have 2 computers we need to replace,
oh,
and potentially a iPad. Member recognition, we left at 8. Gear, we left at 25. We added mileage in there because there isn't anything in there for traveling to classes or meetings. Buildings and grounds is down to 23,700.
Mm-hmm.
Communications is at 2.
why, back to the gear, did we buy a lot of gear, is that why?
No, that's for the donation
Oh,
for,
got it, okay, sorry, I forgot.
that's where that went. Consultant, we dropped to 1,000. Training and education, 300.
3,000.
3,000, sorry. 2% dues,
What did you say, 3,000?
yes.
7? What did you say?
Training.
3,000.
Training and education, 3,000.
Okay.
2% dues, I'm guesstimating of 15,430.60, because that's the difference between last year and this year. The phone, 3,000, electric, 2,500, gas, 5,000, septic, 500,
What gas are you talking?
natural gas. Heat.
Okay, so our expenses are 21, and that's through when? Why would you jump that up to 5? Why would you double that?
Because what is the winter gonna bring?
What does the winter bring every year?
Because I have 3 doors that are leaking, so I mean, that's gonna take.
Well, the year before you were at 33.
There's a-
Last year was milder,
Yeah,
Isn't
Yeah, but
it?
the year before that it was 27.
yeah.
yeah, so it's, whatever.
All right, but I was just asking why it jumped up so much.
Septic is 500. Fire calls non-standard, 3,000. Fuel, 3,000. Engine 10, 8,000.
Why 8,000 for engine 10?
Maintenance,
You got a breakdown of that, Lori? Because you just put 25,000 into it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Brad, help me out here, maintenance on the engine.
It's an old truck, I can't tell you what's gonna break on it the next year. Either you put some money in the budget to fix it, or you come back to she comes back to the board and tries to, I guess, beg for it.
And that's the front line.
Is that?
That's our frontline engine. It'll be 26 years old in December.
Right.
I mean, if it doesn't break, the money's still gonna be there, it's not like it's guaranteed spent.
And then that's gonna be the same for ladder 1, correct?
Correct.
And we should almost have new vehicles if we put 40, 50, 65,000 into them this last year.
Yeah.
They should run for a year, so.
Pump 5 is at 500. Rescue 1 is at 2,000. Vehicle 8 is at 15. Rescue Snow is at 5, we already talked about that one. Tender 1, 1,500. Tender 2, 1,500. Truck 4, 1,000. The ATV is 500. Equipment apparatus, just take it down to 4, because that's what I had figured in my numbers up here that I just gave you. SCBA 3,000, down to the state grant, 3,422.37. Ambulance contract, 72,970. And I heard back from Stratford and Spencer, and they're both declining because they have too great of a response time.
They have what?
It'll be too great of a response time coming, and their commissions cannot see us dropping our service from paramedic to basic or advanced. So that was their answers. November 11th, John, for the board meeting, I have Everett Mueller and Jordan coming from the city to answer and discuss the contract. So if any,
From Marshall.
from Marshfield, if you have any questions about the contract.
72,970.
Yes. I wanted them to come and explain it.
And they,
Can
and
we
they took
question, excuse me,
Go ahead.
they took that 3,000 out too, right?
Correct.
That cap?
So with that 3,000 cap, they could only charge us $3,000 for any unpaid bill for 6 months. Common Council took that cap off, so we're responsible for the full amount of any bill that is not paid that's in the township. So if we got 3 bills, let's say at $1,500 apiece, we're responsible for all $1,500 each one of those bills.
Has our attorney looked at this contract?
Years they did.
Years ago, so I posed the question, so when Jordan comes out, he should have an answer for us. If their billing company is taking these people to collections in small claims court, why are we being held liable for that bill if they're already proceeding to collect it from the person?
Mhm.
So I posted that to Jordan, and he will have the answer for us when he comes on the 11th.
Okay.
so isn't that the way it used to be? That they go after their insurance company or something, or go after them?
I'm assuming that's how it went, but I want Jordan to clarify how this
Okay, all
works.
right, sounds good.
What you have to remember is the fact that now they have a billing company that's doing this. They're not doing this in-house. When they used to go after and do all of that, that's when that happened. The other thing you have to remember is that's where that 600,000 that they came up short, because when they went to the billing company, they quit writing things off on the city side, because you gotta remember, and that's the next question to ask them, are we gonna be liable for when Medicare comes up short? I mean, if we're responsible for all of this, is that gonna
Well,
be
actually,
another shot?
would we even be responsible, or would we be putting it on their taxes?
That's why.
But the thing is, though, what you have to remember, though, is not all of our ambulance calls are residents. Some of them are
No,
non-residents.
but they happened in the township of McMillan, even though they're not residents, because they happened in the township of McMillan. Now listen,
What I'm saying is that's why you can't put it on their taxes
this,
necessarily.
right, but this is how Jordan explained it to me. Any call that happens in the township of McMillan, whether it's resident or not, if it's not paid, it's our responsibility.
Duh.
That's
So
why, no, that's why I
they
posed the
wouldn't have to
question I did to
do-
him.
So even if it's on the state highway, next to Stad and,
It's still our bill to pay.
Yeah.
Our bill. It's our-
That's why I posed the question I did. If your billing company is taking you to small claims court and collections, why are we being held responsible for the bill when you're already trying to collect on it?
so how's the township of Hewitt handling this? I'm assuming they must be in the same boat as us, right?
Everybody's in the same boat as we are right now.
And
Lincoln
there's-
and,
There's
Like
12
everybody.
There's 12 other municipalities in Marshall and Service.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because
mean, it's the best game in town.
I've reached out to multiple chiefs on the contract saying, hey, these are my concerns. They all have the same concerns, so we're all in the same boat. The only difference is I get to see the contract, I get to read it, I get to go through it. They don't. Their board gets it, their board approves it, done deal.
So they don't question it?
Nope, the board doesn't question it, they say, need it, done, got it, go.
Oh my.
So I'm the only chief, according to the communication I've had, who actually gets to see the contract before you guys sign it. And I read it,
Which is really minor as far as that goes. I mean,
Right.
we'd be questioning anyway,
right,
so.
but this gives me a heads up to give to them and give them a list of questions
Yeah.
Okay,
before
well,
they
that's
get here.
good, because
So they can have
well,
answers for us.
they will be prepared, right?
Yep, that's what I'm hoping.
Okay.
I wish you'd have surprised him.
EMS LS 5,000, equipment supplies 2,200, training and expenses 4,500.
What do you got for a total, John?
$227,922.97.
Repeat
900.
that, please.
227
Huh?
922 97.
can the training expenses go down at all? Just because I've looked at the past years, they've been under 1,000 and now we're going for 4,500.
I have 2 people who want to go through
That's right. I
EMT
forgot.
and one's potentially going to PBR, so I gotta kind of do it that way.
I remembered that after we started talking.
No, a lot of times it's just refresh the conversation, that's all that's needed.
Anybody else have any changes? I was gonna up the guy's salaries for highway, but there's no money to do anything with.
Didn't we already do that?
There's no money, we don't have
Well,
any
what are we
money in the
gonna do?
budget.
Didn't we already up their salary though?
Well, we have to make sure we can cover, that's what I'm saying. Okay. So there's no sense in putting any more in there. Everybody will have to quit in December next year.
Okay,
So it is
so,
what it is. The 100,000, who put that in there for capital for highway?
What about,
Who put it in there? Because I didn't.
You guys did.
For what?
for what?
What?
I'm asking for a truck. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Where is that?
Way on the back page.
although 125.
No, 25 goes away. That one's fire department.
Correct.
Oh,
Hey, did you ever get any numbers from Wheeler? For a truck? What did they come up with?
Do they have difference between the stainless steel and the regular box.
Mhm.
Total. It's gonna be between 72 and 80.
Is that including putting the hydraulics on so we can use the,
No.
okay, so you gotta add another 15,000 for that.
So you're up at 100.
Yeah. So. Is this one smaller than the one from B&H?
There's not a step, there's no step on this one.
Mhm.
GM does build it, this would be a Chevy GMC, they come out of the same door, different buttons on it. This is from Randy Schuler. Turbo V8, 10-speed Allison automatic, 9-foot carbon steel dump body, 20,000. There's 5,600 in discounts. There's no trade-in. Start out at 45, then you keep adding crap. Then there's the packages, they add those in, gets it up to 55.
Packages of what?
Well, what does it say? Work truck preferred equipment, spare tire delete, tinted glass, 40, 20, 40 seats, winter grill covers included, rear window defogger emissions, rear axle, vinyl seat trim, engine block heater, exhaust brake included, larger alternator, work truck convenience package, 17-inch wheels, 235 ADR 17, black walls, license plate holder, fleet processing included.
But they sure list all the little crap.
Yeah, it gets.
I mean, it's just,
And
it's
they-
nice to have a rear axle.
Huh?
It's nice to have a rear axle.
Yeah. There's a AM/FM radio in it.
What are you thinking of buying this truck?
I don't know yet.
Really? The other one, the
Um,
other one's got about 150,000 on it, it's an 06, right?
Yeah,
And it's pretty rusty. That vehicle is saved.
Basically,
The other
the mile,
two big-
every mile that's on that red truck is not on a dump truck, and that's why it was originally purchased.
Right.
Because it basically just runs around when we do fencing and when you do road checks and put up stop signs. And that's why it's nice to have
And
the box,
patching.
the dump box is the most awesome, because that's, I mean, basically it's your utility truck. So that you don't have to run a dump truck, because prior to that, they were running a dump truck everywhere.
Right.
So that's the save of the dump truck.
And you got, and if you put hydraulics on the front, use the boom we have. If you notice on the intersections from the gravel roads to the blacktop transition, everybody cuts the corners, so.
I think, B&H got a price of putting the hydraulics on that one they were showing us,
Yep.
and it came to about 15
Okay.
to be able to use our product.
Yep.
So, and I think that truck came in at, was it 76? After all the discounts and everything, plus they said they could get us 3,000 for our truck.
But that's a lot taller in and out.
Well, we could ask him if he can find something smaller.
I don't, there's Chrysler.
I have no idea, but I can ask. I mean, that's what they had on the lot.
That was a Ram, they probably got about 30 of them on the lot.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what some of the
What is it?
contractors went to. What?
Nothing.
You asked me to go down there, that's how I know what's there, because I go,
Right,
what's
but-
in back, what do they got in back?
Well,
Different
is that one
models.
sitting on the lot down at Miller?
No,
This is
because,
to order.
so this,
Yeah.
what they have sitting on the lot down there, and you see it in front of the body shop, is the same thing. B&H has got it. They're 4 doors, some of them are,
I'm just asking. They just happened to bring out what they had on the lot.
yeah,
This would be ordered, correct?
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to Jeff and find out if we order one comparable to that,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
See what they come up with for a price.
So how much money we need to balance?
You're gonna need 100, to balance?
$319,326.
How much?
319,000, figure 320,000.
What about our shared revenue thing? That, we have that extra 65. Where is that, you still have that under shared revenue of 117, correct?
Yeah, that's the estimate that I
Got it.
received from the
The
revenue.
extra was 65,000.
Yeah,
So I think that that's probably like versus what it was previously, so
Yeah.
like if you look at the column January to December 23,
you got
the
48,
revenue was 48,000, so I think that's already baked in.
that's already in there,
Already in where?
the 115.
So like if we were normally getting $50,000, if you add 65,000 to it, last year we got, or this year we got $115,000.
Right.
Uh-huh,
So it's already, the 65 is in there.
it's already figured in.
Yeah, but the extra was supposed to be allocated to EMS and roads, and you can, however,
Well, I think it is, because that's just all part of our revenue. Am I correct, John? I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
mean-
put in the pot and it's split up, that's what it is.
There's easily $65,000 of expense for roads or for
or
fire,
for EMS,
whichever.
Right.
or fire.
However you wanna
Yeah,
Yeah.
assign that
It's all- it's all
$65,000
in
to.
here.
That needs to be talked about and discussed, is how that's spent, that 65.
oh Jesus.
I mean,
Well, I
we're
would
gonna
say
leave
that
it,
it would
no,
go-
it doesn't just go into the general account.
No, I mean, so you could say that the 65 pays for the ambulance
Okay,
contract.
there you go, 65,000
You know,
already
like-
went there.
I mean, it's one of those things where like,
Okay,
how was the ambulance getting paid
Okay,
previously?
well-
I don't know.
well, this
levy
needs
and
to
then-
be talked about when this, I mean, because we are supposedly supposed to get this same thing next year,
Yeah,
the same amount.
I think
So-
the town advocacy council had said
mhm.
throughout the state, EMS and EMR and ambulance contracts are going up. So consequently, they up the state revenue.
shared revenues
by
are
the
for
percentages.
Township,
to count-
it's
to
for the
count.
township.
Right,
No, but
right.
they also specifically said that, and then it tells you in the articles that it is supposed to be used for either, law enforcement, roads,
I think we got it
or
covered, Carol.
EMS and.
Am I correct,
and-
John?
Yeah, in my opinion, there's, you know,
I'm just
there's
telling you what
enough
I read.
expenses to cover the additional revenue.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it was intended to increase the expenses of any of those things by $65,000.
No.
Well, then you didn't go to their meeting,
It was-
that we went
It
to.
was created
Right?
as supplemental
Exactly,
budget.
right.
Yeah,
Am I-
that was
I'm
my
not speaking
understanding.
out of, I'm not kidding. This was presented, it was the lobbyist for the state that went after this to get it specifically, because these two areas are the big areas that need that extra revenue.
What was her
And-
name? Do you remember?
Jolene,
Okay.
she's the lobbyist. And so, and on this, in this paper, if you go
Did you
to
take
the
that
Act 12,
300,000 out of there?
it tells you.
Because there isn't
I
gonna be
I haven't
anything.
done anything
Oh,
that
we just-
people haven't told me to do.
Well, that's a point. And here it is, so the board can decide.
Okay, so supplemental, it's used only for law enforcement, fire protection, emergency medical services, and emergency response communications and transportation.
Well, when you're
That's
sitting with
expensive.
a $200,000 budget, I think you got it covered.
I guess we're, splitting hairs, I don't know.
Splitting hairs,
Comes out of one pocket to the other.
yeah, well, whatever.
Same with the school district, right?
Oh, God.
Okay.
All right, we're done tonight?
Well,
so
so
I still
how
have
are we
a-
gonna balance this?
We're not going to.
Why not?
How in the hell are you gonna do it? Where are you taking it from?
If you're paying the rest of the road bill, if that's the only big thing we have left that I'm aware of, right? There's enough.
We have to deal within our budget. We have to make our budget balance
Now,
first.
Just let me finish. You've got enough money in those two accounts to pay the rest of that bill to Earth.
Right,
And
Which
you
is
know that you have federal money coming in
next
January
year.
or February for near $600,000.
Mhm.
That doesn't show anywhere. So all of a sudden, we have a huge pot of 600,000 in our accounts that's not on the budget or even proposed to the
You need
people
to
as to what
check,
you're
John,
gonna
and see
do
if we
with
can
it.
put a grant into our budget.
Well, you've done it for fire, you've put them in there that they were.
Well,
getting
the
them.
small ones, but I'm talking about this road grant.
Well, I mean,
Well, it's
I
money.
understand what you're saying.
there's the ARPA money was put in there, that was the grant.
Yeah.
There's a line item.
The ARPA is not in the budget.
It was in 2022, for
Yeah.
$111,000. There's a state
Then
grant
it's
for
moved
public
out.
safety.
That's what I'm wondering, sometimes you do.
There's an entire line item for state grants, total of
Okay.
43500
You have
on page 1, right in
excess.
the middle.
Monies for the highway, then 300,000 coming in the next year.
Yeah,
So
but we
you-
don't have that yet. I'm just saying, we do not have
You do
that.
know it, you just said exactly what it was.
591,000 and
591,000.
change.
Yeah,
So,
so you don't have that money accounted for in the budget, and yes, you don't have a check in your hand,
That
but
certainly will be in revenue, so it's going to be unbalanced as far, on the revenue side, like, which is a good
Yes.
problem to have, but, you know, barring some sort of unforeseen circumstance, we're going to receive $591,000
Right.
next year that's not budgeted
yes,
for
it's
at
like,
all.
you know, at the end of the year, we're gonna still be accounted for that. What I'm saying is I don't think it's fair to the people to say we've spent more than we're getting, when we're getting that, and you actually can do nearly 600,000 in that account.
well, it would.
600,
Plus the
607,000 is what's the,
Plus, we
the two
put
are.
400,000 in the other account. That's sitting there. So either you roll over those two accounts for highway, and that should be in there, or, because you could pay it with the 400,000 and part of the grant when it comes in, or part of the highway stuff now. I'm saying you've got $1 million there, that's actually money that's coming in one form or another. Either those money markets gets moved, or the money's, and plus the money's coming, you've done some of that, you haven't done all of it. I don't understand how you think you don't have money to do highways.
I didn't say we don't have money.
Well, you want to
We
take it
don't
out.
have money to balance our budget, is what I'm saying by leaving that 300,000 there. With the money that is showing on here.
Right, but if you
At
add in
this
$591,000 of revenue that we expect to come in,
Yes.
then we have more
I
revenue.
understand what you're saying.
So we have,
I'm
we
saying
have an opposite,
according
instead of having a deficit, we have a surplus of $200,000.
At least.
Which would go on roads.
272.
At least.
Yeah.
Plus, there's 400,000 sitting in the tax account, that's that other part of that million.
Right, we
You've
got
got
another
a
bill
lot
coming.
to do roads with next year, you know. You could leave it like, I'm not opposed to leaving it, if that's the way you wanna show it, is that the way you
Well,
have
it's
it
gonna get
tonight?
very confusing. You start adding grants in there and loans in there.
But you
and-
have the money, that's not.
But we can explain that.
Well,
I
then
think it's
that-
pretty easy to explain that we're gonna get $591,000 of revenue
Yes.
next year.
I understand that.
Plus
And
what's-
I don't think that it's
But I
wise to
don't wanna-
present
I don't-
an unbalanced budget to the residents.
I don't think so either.
Especially when, knowing that we can present a balanced budget, we have the ability tonight to balance the budget immediately.
Mhm.
And, you know, you
By
can balance it by
analyzing.
putting the expected grant revenue in there, and you can
Right. put
find a
that
way
in.
to expense the,
Put it in
Put the
highway,
rest of it
and
on
then you still
roads.
got all that money
Right,
in those money markets, they're not CDs anymore. You still have that, you have 400,000, that's part of the loan,
well, you still got a big bill coming.
Do we know what that bill is?
again.
Well, it's gonna be over 500,000.
Well, if
Yes,
you add,
nearly
if
six,
you add
nice round numbers,
the,
nearly six.
the money market, the 375 for highway, and the ARPA 232, you've got $607,000.
Right there.
Right
Yeah.
there.
Then you got 400 that you stuck the loan, 400 in there,
Well, we're still gonna
And
end up with a couple
600 coming.
100,000.
How can
You
you
know,
not
when you
have
get the
money?
next bill, so,
But I think that would make sense to show more of a balanced budget as well.
I agree. And I think
But I don't know how to do it. Like, how would you?
Well, I think,
add a line on your budget that says, this is what we have in grant and leftover monies from last year, from.
I wouldn't even mess around with the leftover monies.
No.
Well, you still
I
gotta
think
count
is,
it.
but I think
You
that the
know.
leftover money is gonna get,
it's gonna just get.
Call it whatever
I think
you
that
want to
stuff's
call
gonna
it,
get
but
eaten up.
but it's there.
so I think
we're
that the
only
leftover
going
money
to
is gonna
deposit
get
what we
eaten up.
absolutely need into the checking, am I correct, John?
Yeah, so I think that the leftover money from this year,
But-
the money that's there, a lot of it is gonna get eaten up by the end of the project.
Right,
And
And
the
we're gonna have to add
maintaining
those
stuff for the rest of the year.
If you use those two.
Furthermore, that historically has not been reported in the budget. None of that stuff was reported as revenue last year's budget, the year before, the year before, the year before. That-
Exactly.
That
Well,
fund balance
you're
of
not
mine
putting
has
in
never
there, but
been,
you need to explain that to the people, that you don't act, you put in 300,000 right now for road work, and you actually are gonna have more than that come next year to do. And yes, on the paper it shows, you don't have it yet, as you keep saying, but you're gonna have it. It's not like you're not gonna do roads.
right.
You need to have, this is my feeling. I
But
feel you need
going-
to.
My thought on this is you start adding 600,000 to the budget, what's gonna happen next year when you walk in? You're gonna have a mess, because you ain't gonna have all of this extra money coming in.
but you won't
That
have
happened
as much
when
of the expense either. I mean, if,
Oh, I wouldn't bank on that.
Well,
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 it's
historically,
no different than
Yeah, we
the
have-
fire department budget, you do unexpected, you put
So-
in, so we're trimming that out, so.
currently there's a $300,000 expense for highway construction local. And up until, so for the prior 3 years, that was never even $100,000.
Right, because that was the money that was left over from our budget that we backed into. That's how we've always done it. That's what was left, that's what got put on highway maintenance.
Yeah, so I'm saying that next year, or in 2026, when there's $591,000 less in revenue, you would also have an equally offsetting reduction in highway construction local. So
Yeah, it's gonna turn
it'll
traffic.
balance it back. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to. I
You're
mean,
gonna.
But you wanna be able to say, okay, if you left everything as it is right now, all right, we've added the loan into it already. We're over by 328,000. We have a grant coming of 591. You need to explain it, okay? To say we're gonna have this extra money to be able to put onto roads,
But you're supposed to balance the budget.
yeah.
which,
You have to run and add on a balanced budget to show the
Right.
people. And then if the board wants to, you borrowed money, it's all gonna be sitting there in next year. However, you don't, or just explain that, if you don't show it, you need to explain it, and then, yeah, there's gonna be a lot more in 25 than there probably will be in 26. You borrowed $1 million. Of course, there's going to be a whole lot more.
well, we're still gonna be paying off the loan as far as that goes.
It's in there.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm not,
Well,
well, you've got to, as she said, you have to, do
You
you?
balance it and.
throw it in there,
and
John,
and
the grant,
Okay, so
and then
you-
put the extra in highway.
Yes, that's
okay,
perfect.
So
And then
I
I
will tell
think we
you,
need to, like, asterisk it saying, come
It's
next
gotta be
year.
explained
Yeah,
completely.
that this is, like,
You
this
must add
is
that,
coming
but you
here.
will have to tell the people that. You should tell the people
Well, I
that.
think we
Tell
should
them what?
document it.
You, okay, so there
otherwise
are
they're gonna go
rules
away
in what
saying, what they got all kinds of
Yeah,
to be
ideas.
publicized.
That's
yeah, so
gonna-
really I think it needs to be a discussion point or a
Yes.
supplemental thing that gets
Yes.
distributed at the budget hearing.
Yes.
And
So,
with
I've
that,
We need to
Now-
go through it all with them.
with
Yeah,
all those
I-
monies, I would assume that there will be a plan of what your roads, what you're gonna do to tell the people, so
Yeah.
that they know
We're
there
gonna
will
fix
be
the roads,
something.
hopefully.
We've already
And
talked
it
Well,
about
yeah,
that.
$1 million, I would hope so.
Well, we won't know if we got any grants until December.
Right.
So if we get a grant in December,
It
You
can
know.
change.
And if
it
you
could
don't,
change.
if you don't,
What are you gonna do, borrow the money for that too? Because, I mean,
Well,
if you
you're
don't,
gonna
you
have
still
to-
have to fix roads.
well, yes, that's what I'm
But I mean,
saying.
if we
But
get-
what roads are you fixing? I think that's been,
We're not sure on that yet because we don't know if we got the grants.
But right now, it shows that we have budgeted expenditures for 2025 on the roads for $572,647.05.
Okay, so if we get a grant for Stockton, that's gonna cost us how much? What is it,
That
a
was-
90-10?
I think that was 90-10, so $180,000.
yeah.
Okay, and,
There went
any
your
other,
money.
what's that?
There went your money.
No, that was,
And then we figured 300,000 for, yeah, for doing some chip sealing,
Yep.
so.
okay, so
Yeah,
that's all I'm
that's
asking you to do is tell people
And then
that
there's
you're
Edmar.
gonna.
You don't have enough
Creek,
money.
There's
to
Sugar
do
Creek, there's
You got
Elm
a
Tree, there's Roman, there's, I mean, you pick a road,
those. Pick a road.
Well,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying, just pick a road and down. Just,
Quincy's a good one.
Okay.
Penny,
Pick
I
one.
Yeah, we have a whole list.
So,
don't know.
in the
We
end,
got
a
more than a
whole
whole
list.
list, we got a whole township.
You-
We're-
well, you
we're
got
balanced now.
The list to begin
You're
with.
balanced. Yeah.
Okay,
I
we're good?
I put
We're
the
done?
grant in as revenue,
I
the
guess.
highway construction local is 572.
I gotta go out to dinner yet.
And
you
everything
got a hot
else.
date or what?
Oh, George's birthday, we're going out for dinner.
Sorry, I cut you off.
Tell George to wait until tomorrow.
Why?
So,
Why not?
John,
Because he's a day older,
can you
the day
repeat what
wiser.
you just said?
Yeah, so we have a balanced budget, I've got the $591,000 for the grant as revenue, and then $572,647 was the highway street, or highway construction local
Maintenance.
amount that was the 300,000 plus the surplus after we added in the grant revenue.
Gotcha.
So I'll PDF this, I'll get it shaded again, and I'll send it out to you guys.
Question, how many early voters were yesterday, just as about
64.
64?
And I came today.
It was nonstop until, from 3 p.m. until 5:30,
Oh.
5:40, whenever Donna got there.
Yeah.
You're open tomorrow till after 6?
No, I only have windows on Wednesdays. I am coming out here tomorrow at 5 to meet with one voter. So when people are calling to schedule
Now your
appointments,
appointment,
yeah, so I'm scheduling appointments with people when they need them. I'm meeting 5 people out here on Saturday at 1:30 p.m. So I'm trying to like compound the appointments so I don't have to come out here, you know.
yeah.
Every
I
day,
understand that because
every
I-
other hour.
Yeah, but I am trying to meet the voters where they need to be. You know, I had a call from a woman today. I said, I want to be out there at 5:30 today. She said, I'm feeding football players. Can't do it today. I said, what about tomorrow? She said, no. I said, Saturday, you know, so like, I'm meeting them where I can.
I appreciate
And,
that, because I had a couple calls, and they wanted to know, and maybe that's why I know that I talked to 2 of them that were in line yesterday. I said
It was long.
Yeah.
It
we
was
waited
long.
an hour, 20 minutes, which is.
Yeah.
But it is for their advantage
And-
that
and-
he is willing to
The
work with
entire
all
state
these
was
people.
having the same problem,
So-
and they were having it for the first 2 days. So today was the third day.
Don't appreciate it.
Apparently, the
I know
fix
that.
was
I know
to
that's but
reboot the system.
don't complain.
Down in
You
Madison?
have to wait.
So
Yeah.
they've rebooted it twice today. That's not a long-term fix, but it clears out whatever to allow the stuff to go. And
And you had, what, something didn't print?
that was that was the statewide problem, yeah. So,
Yeah, it wasn't just you, that one made the news.
yeah. And the clerk's world is all up in arms about it. Everyone's writing letters to the Wisconsin Elections Commission. and
Good
stuff.
luck with that, ain't it?
Yeah,
What
I
good's it
mean-
gonna do ya? Good
I
lord.
pissed it into the wind, I tell you that much. They said they had the state, like DOA IT folks down there, they had 40 people from Microsoft, like, fly out to try and address this problem.
Yeah.
So it's not just a state thing, it's a Microsoft product thing, and
I appreciate what you did,
so, yeah,
Just
thanks.
want that.
You're gonna probably be busy next Wednesday, because I've had a few calls and told
Yeah,
them.
I had a call
Wednesday.
today, and he said, you know, when can I come down? I said, you know, I'm here, and he said, I'll come down Wednesday, so,
You're gonna be
you know,
busy
yeah.
again.
Yeah, I've already thought like,
So if people ask, they can come in next Wednesday and wait in line or call you.
yeah, I'm not making appointments for Wednesdays, but, and hopefully if it's, as long as it goes smoother, it'll be quicker. If it was working the way it should, it would be quicker, but I think I was telling Nicole, like, next time, me or whoever the clerk is, should set this place up as the polling place, like it is on election day. You know, because I could have done that, we could have set it up, and then I could have been here on Wednesdays instead of in the clerk's office, and then, you know, a half dozen people could have voted at one time, versus trying to cram, you know,
Yeah,
6
It's too
people in.
small up there
Yeah.
for that, it
And
just
it's
is.
just, you know, I totally underestimated how many people, you know, I thought, okay, COVID's done, so people are like, I'm voting on election days for you
Uh-huh.
guys, and, you know.
You'd be better off coming
So-
down here for Wednesday.
Yeah, so I got flooded, I don't know that I can migrate, maybe I can, I don't know.
If you calculate it out, there's like 12 to 1,400 registered voters, right?
Yeah,
We've done at least 200-300, so I took 1,000 divided by 14 hours, that's 71 people, you know, going through an hour, 71 people an hour,
That's the sign over there.
that's more
the
than one a
sign
minute, so
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's gonna be hectic.
Oh, or,
At the
Very
fire department,
active.
I should bring that over here and put voting on there and point here.
yeah.
Hey, it's over
Your
there
sign?
on the sign,
Your sign?
over yonder.
Yeah, I have a sign out there to point them over to the clerk's office. And
I know, but I was
so
just saying, if
I
you
don't-
had a-
I'm not quite sure what to do
For
about it,
Wednesday.
yeah.
Unless
Because
they buy one.
technically, the clerk's office is listed as a polling place in the
General.
system.
Mhm.
And so I don't know that I can deviate from what was
But
posted.
so is the town hall, is where we vote.
Yeah, but I don't know that I can deviate from, because I think it said that it was, you
In the
could
clerk's
do
office.
Wednesdays, 3 to 6 in the clerk's office. So I
Yeah.
think that I'm kind of stuck there now. And again, I'm trying to do everything by the book.
Yeah, I know.
Nicole came and voted, I got her driver's license, Carolyn voted, I got her driver's license, Dave voted, I got his driver's license. I'm not taking any chances, so I don't want, I'm just gonna do it. And
Well, you do whatever you need to do.
I'm gonna do it at the clerk's office, and
Have a good dinner.
that's gonna be, I'll change it next time.
See you later.
Yeah.
I'll be going next week up to Marathon County, get some patch, take care of those potholes on the culvert.
Down on Red Road.